morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John Gray, and I'm just plain living right here in Tullahoma, Tennessee.
Good morning, I'm Peggy Burton.
And I'm Jim Fuller.
And I guess we're all just plain living.
Why, yeah. Isn't it great?
It is great.
Nothing fancy about us, we're just plain.
Springtime's here, the sun's shining, isn't it wonderful?
It's beautiful. I do. I love the
Absolutely
trees.
wonderful. And the grass is growing.
Grass is up to my knees. Sometimes further
That's
than
all
that,
right.
but we won't
What are you
talk
getting
about
for a nickel bag?
Not much.
Not much.
We need to borrow. Now that you're off on that track, we need to borrow some money.
Yeah.
Peggy, because she's got 20 acres.
She got 20 acres of
20
grass
acres.
up to her knees.
Yeah.
We need somebody with some cattle to run out there, babe.
Hey, did you watch the Country Music Awards?
I watched the Country Music Awards. It was the Academy of Country Music Awards,
Well, yeah.
which is different than the CMAs.
Well, yeah.
And it was
but-
done in Vegas, and the CMAs are done in Nashville. And I sort of equate that to NCAA tournament and the NIT.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Academy of Country Music, sort of the NIT to me, but the real one is the CMA Award.
Well, when
Yeah.
I watch it, I start wondering what's happened to country music. I don't know if you do or not.
John
but-
says it's coming back.
Well, I'll
think
tell
it
you
is?
one thing that happened to country music is Chris Stapleton. Chris Stapleton, absolutely, he and Sergio Simpson and Jason Isbell, and we've got a guy right back here in the audience today, Shane Owen, who is going to change country music back to where it belongs.
All right.
Everything that Chris Stapleton was in, he was Song of the Year. He was Album of the Year. He was New Male Vocalist of the Year and also Male Vocalist of
yeah.
the Year. And Little Big Town said they were glad he wasn't a group.
He didn't at all.
He'd have won that
He would have
too.
walked away with everything.
But Jason Rhett was Single of the Year. The group was Little Big Town. Duo of the Year was Florida Georgia Line. The new duo was Old Dominion. Female vocalist Miranda Lambert for about the 6th time in a row or something like that.
Was she the one that come out and did the ZZ Top song?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
need a little touch.
Touch.
Yeah.
Looking for some
No,
touch.
touch.
Did she say touch?
Touch is, I best I understand, she said
You
touch.
took it a different way, didn't
I
you?
think there was probably,
I know
there was
you did.
probably people all over that audience with their hands up
Yeah.
going, I'm in, I'll give you a little touch.
You need to settle down, John.
I can't help it, man, I'm
You
happy
gotta calm
today.
down. You're happy.
Eric Church, Video of the Year, Mr. Misunderstood. Jason Aldean, Entertainer of the Year. And that was about it. Chris Stapleton won as much as all the rest of them
I
put
love
together.
Tim McGraw's song.
Tim McGraw's song was really, really, really
That was
good.
very nice.
Really good. And I thought, of course, I can say this because this is our television show, not theirs. I thought Luke Bryan was absolutely the worst MC I've ever seen on a show in my life.
Really?
I just thought he was horrible. He acted like he didn't know what he was doing. And I thought he sang off key.
It seemed like that, yeah.
So, and I know that's hard to do. Those shows like that are hard to do because they're moving bands in and out and everything. And I guess you don't get the sound checks that you normally have the time to set the stuff exactly to you. I thought Jason Aldean was a little bit off as well. But I'm sure it's tough.
Well, it was
They're all a million times better than me.
basically entertaining, but some of it just gets totally lost in the lights and the background music and all the chaos that you can't tell if they're an entertainer or not. It seems like to me, some of them are trying to be too Hollywood.
Carrie Underwood was wearing a cage. She had a cage on.
Yeah, and she's so gorgeous.
Yeah, I love Carrie.
She's a
what a great
beautiful
voice.
singer, and she's on pitch, and she knows all that stuff. I just don't think she needs all that hoopla.
Well, you know, I can sympathize with the guy you're saying was singing off key because I thought for years as we hosted Karaoke Stars, first place in the southeastern United States, ever had it. I thought for years I was doing really good.
You were.
And then we did an old a show of some of the old telethons we did, and I thought, as I looked at it, I thought,
what have you been smoking?
yeah, boy, was I a little off key on that one. You know,
Peggy's phone.
Yeah, right. But it happens.
No, you were great.
Well,
you were great.
to give them a little prop. You know, if your monitor mix isn't right,
Oh, absolutely.
it's very, very, very on stage, very difficult to be. If you can't hear the music,
you can't hear
it's
the
real
music,
easy
you're
to,
sort of in trouble.
drift away.
Oh, of course it is. And you know, that was one of our problems, is because New York was the first song we did, and inevitably as we walked out there, it took that song before we could ever get those monitors right.
Oh,
A lot
yeah.
of times I couldn't even hear it, you know, in the monitors. You know.
Speaking
Right.
of hearing, have you watched Dancing with the Stars and the guy that dances and does not hear anything?
I've heard about that.
He
but I
is
haven't actually seen it.
awesome. He is handsome, he's debonair, and he somehow keeps the beat by the vibrations he feels.
Has all his teeth too.
He has all his teeth, yeah, and he uses them a lot. But I just think that's phenomenal.
Oh yeah, yeah. That would have to be. Reminds me of the Helen Keller story. I can remember when we were young, that movie of Helen Keller, that how she learned
Just
how
think
to.
how you would feel if
you couldn't hear or speak.
see. How
Or see.
awful that would be.
Yeah, it'd be tough.
John,
It'd be tough.
I heard you make a comment the other day, and I was doing something, working on another show, but you said something about you felt like country music was coming back to.
Yeah,
to
yeah. I
its
do.
traditional
I do
days.
because and Chris Stapleton, what he did the other night, and what he's winning, and how he's being accepted. You know, you can understand what he's saying when he sings. It's not a rap song. It's not a bro country song. It's not. There's not so many words thrown into it that you can't tell what the song's saying.
About,
It's
true.
and that's what I like about Chris and the Simpson guy and Jason Isbell and this guy back here, Shane Owens. That's George Strait right there. That's the next
Yeah,
George Strait sitting back there.
And he's going to be on our
gonna be on the show today,
in Tullahoma, Tennessee.
And now you can understand every word that guy sings
Right.
because let me tell you what he's singing about. He's singing about the life that all of us live.
I started to say country music used to tell a story,
Right.
You know, and I'm not knocking, you know, some of the newer stuff, but you know, a song like "She Thinks My Tractor's Sexy" it just doesn't
touch you
it
like
doesn't
that.
really touch you like I Can't Help It If I'm Still in Love with You. or Hank
Exactly.
Williams.
Yeah.
There's no, you know, there's no story.
It
there,
depends
so-
on what she's wearing when she's sitting in front of you on that tractor
Yeah.
out there in the middle of 40 acres and nobody else is around.
Okay.
Well, the bottom line,
That's
some
it.
people,
I'm glad you explained that to me.
Yeah.
Now it makes a perfect sense to me.
And then when she rides to the barn with you and you throwing all that hay up in the loft and everybody goes to take a break, she's there with you all by yourself.
Okay, I admit it. I got old.
There
and I
you go.
missed
See,
that.
it's a
I
whole new
missed that
picture.
part.
But she thinks my tractor's
Absolutely.
sexy.
Absolutely.
Might be
Yeah.
what it might be the trail it's leading to.
Yeah.
What about Villanova beating
Oh God,
North
what a
Carolina
dramatic
last night?
deal there. I'm telling you. Yeah.
You didn't know that, did
I'll
you,
have to
Peggy?
doze off while y'all talk about
Last
that.
Peggy's going to
well, I
sleep.
only saw the end of it, so it's okay.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
No, well, it
Was
it
that the one where the guy hit the?
Buzzer
Three-pointer
beater.
is it?
I
Yeah,
saw that.
at the
I
basket.
did. I saw that
So you
basket.
woke up for that,
I did.
didn't you?
Sure. That was
You know
awesome.
more than you think, Peggy.
I know a lot more than I even want to admit. Too
And,
much.
Yeah, they did a great job. They did a great
Yeah,
job.
that- I have to say I
well, of
didn't
course,
see
North
that.
Carolina was down 10 points with 5 minutes to go, came back and they made a shot with 4 seconds left to tie the ball game up, and they were just going insane. And there was 4.5 seconds for Villanova, and everybody's going, oh, it's going to overtime.
Yeah.
They called
Wrong.
a perfect play, went down there, this guy drilled it from about you know,
Oh, it was way
five,
out.
6 feet outside of the three-point line. It
amazing.
was over with, and North Carolina just wilted. They just wilted. You know, what a horrible way to
Oh, sure.
to lose.
Okay, a lot of people
But
were
what a
picking
great
North
way to
Carolina.
win.
What a great way to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was fine. And speaking about Dancing with the Stars, I was in Manchester the other night for the Coffee County Dancing
you were
with the
dancing with
Stars.
the Stars?
And no, I wasn't, but it was a great fundraiser for the Manchester Arts Center over there, and we had 7 different groups dancing,
Great.
and David Georgianne Jaggers took the prize on that and
So
won it.
cute.
They're so good.
They're awesome.
They are so good. But Dr. Al Brandon was dancing.
I'm proud of him. He's still doing that.
And it was it's funniest thing, fun thing. It was a great time. They had very, very good support over there for the MAC. And, you know, we all need to remember that the cultural side of our lives, and not just in big towns where there's skirmahorns and big
Exactly.
venues, but in small towns like this where we have South Jackson Civic Center and the MAC, you know, that's part of the fabric of our community, and our children need to know what it's like to be on a stage, be in a play, paint a painting, take a picture, recite a poem. So get behind our cultural centers in your small towns and support that. And the MAC did a great job the other night
That's
of
wonderful.
doing that.
We're proud of
Sure did.
all our
It sounded like it was a lot of
performing
fun
arts
for the
groups.
Oh, it was fun.
spectators,
It was
yeah.
wonderful fun. Everybody had a big
I'm
time.
sorry I missed it.
Everybody had a big time. And I mean, B.B. Brown came out, and for his country dance, he and his wife, he came out with a plaid shirt with the sleeves torn out of it and a mullet wig on.
Yeah.
Funny.
And they did Achy Breaky Heart. It was the funniest thing you have ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
So
That's great.
it's a good time. Everybody had a great time, and Rebecca and the bunch over there at the conference center did a great job.
Yeah.
Proud of them and proud of what she's doing over there as well.
And she's the new manager?
New manager. I just noticed Steve Popovich walked into the room back there, president of Miramonte Records, and we're glad to have Steve in the building with us today. And we're just going to have a good show today. We've got all kinds of great things going on. 12 Angry Men.
Well, I think a third of them are going to show up here today.
Are they?
I believe so.
Are we going to court?
Maybe.
That's a great play that's going on, and it's about a courtroom, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
You think so? You better know so. You're going to interview him.
I believe so, yeah.
You got it.
I'm excited about it.
Got it. And just all kinds of great things going on around town. And we're going to take a quick break here. We have a wonderful show for you today. Don't you go away. We'll be right back after these messages, and pay attention because our sponsors love you.
All right.
It's time for every family and business in Tullahoma to go green and recycle. Tullahoma Public Works makes it simple and easy to recycle. Just place your recyclable materials, paper, plastic, aluminum, and cardboard beside your garbage container on the same day your garbage is picked up. Your recycled materials don't have to be in a fancy container. Recycling is not only the right thing to do, it makes sense. Recycling pays. Paying to bury our garbage costs each of us. Please do your part. Let's go green, Tullahoma, and recycle.
Hi, I'm Cindy.
And I'm Jacob. I'm the Rooster.
And I'm the Red Maiden. And we would like to welcome you to
Roosterwear.
Yes, Roosterwear is a cottage industry producing accessories for men, women, children, babies, and pets. All items are hand cut and sewn locally. Roosterwear specializes in bow ties, pocket squares, scarves, cufflinks, neckties, and aprons of all sizes for all ages. Baby products include onesies, diaper covers, bibs, and burp pads. All bow ties, tie it yourself or pre-tied, come with an adjustable neckband. All products can be made with the material of your choice, as special orders are available upon request. Don't be standing back looking at fashion. Create your own with Roosterwear.
come visit us at
roosterandredmaiden.com.
to find our handcrafted designs for
The cock of the walk.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm pleased to have joining us on the set now some really nice guests who told me their name about 3 minutes ago, and now I've forgotten it because there was entirely too much information coming down to me as I was starting here. But they're here to talk about an event that's happening up in Sewanee, I believe, next weekend.
Yes, it's Trails and Trilliums.
First of all, tell me who you are.
My name is Linda Parrish. I'm the chair of Trails and Trilliums 2016 this year. Trails and Trilliums is a benefit for Friends of the South Cumberland.
Okay.
And our festival will be next weekend in Monteagle, Tennessee at the Monteagle Sunday School
This
Assembly.
is an annual event that you guys do there.
Yes,
right?
this is-
And what was your name again?
Oh, my name's Ty Burnett.
Ty Burnett, okay. And both of you guys are with the organization, is that correct?
Right. Ty is a former president of Friends of the South Cumberland, and this
Okay.
year is chairman of our Hikes Committee.
Okay, all right. Now, I know you brought some slides today to show us a little bit about what it's about, but tell us, first of all, what is Trails and Trilliums, and what is that? What do you guys do?
This is the 13th year that Trails and Trilliums has been on the mountain. It is a 3-day festival of natural wonder. We have guided hikes, we have an art exhibition and sale, we have programs, and really something for everyone who enjoys the out of doors. It's a chance to expose people to our park, Tennessee's largest largest state wilderness park, and a chance to raise money for a great cause.
Okay.
Oh, you've got to tell them about the children's choir.
Oh, the children's choir. We started last year for the first time a children's choir that is made up of children from Franklin, Marion, and Grundy County schools. About 120 kids participating this year, singing Southern Mountain music, and we had 600 people attend that event.
I started to say, I vaguely remember this. I think we did a story on it last year, but it looked like a lot of fun, and people from everywhere come to this. I know you guys have a website, I believe. And,
right.
And there were comments there, people all over the place that actually get into this sort of thing.
We really tried to draw from a six-city range going all the way from Huntsville to Jackson, Tennessee, and expand the exposure that the park gets. And again, when you go out in the woods and you experience everything you enjoy there, you want to bring it back home with you.
Sure.
And so people paint about it, sing about it, write about it. We have native plants sale that you can recreate that forest enchantment in your own yard.
No kidding.
So just a chance for everyone to bring the woods back to you.
And there are probably people there that can tell you about that. I mean,
Right.
about how, the various and sundry plants and that sort of thing that are involved.
We have programs this year on the white fringeless orchid, which is about to be an endangered species, but we have colonies of them in the park, and butterfly gardens, and a fellow named Avi Oski from Overhill Gardens outside Knoxville will be there with his native plants.
I'd be interested to know how you guys got involved in this. I mean, what motivated you guys to get involved?
You go first, Ty. You've been involved longer.
I just moved to the area, to the Monteagle area, and then made some contact with some folks that live at the Monteagle Sunday School Assembly, and they were on the board at that time, and they felt like they needed some younger blood in the Friends of South Cumberland, and so they said, this looks like a good fit for you, and so and I think that was 7 years ago, maybe 8, and so they said, we'd like to invite you to the Friends of South Cumberland board, and so I've been there for a while. It's kind of funny, my first year there, Mary Priestley, who's kind of like an institution with the Friends of South Cumberland, she got on to me one time. She was one of the board meetings. In my first year, she said, "This is a working board."
Oh, really?
So, in other words, you need to do something. And I said, I was kind of hoping to get a feel for the lay of the land before I did that.
Right, exactly. And you? How did you?
Well, when Trails and Trilliums originally was at St. Andrew's School in Monteagle, and it moved to the Monteagle Sunday School Assembly where I live, and I had a chance to be exposed to the event. My favorite thing probably is native plants,
Yeah.
and so volunteered around Trails and Trilliums for a couple of years, and then was invited to be the chairman of the event, and I serve on the board also.
Oh, okay. It sounds like you guys like and enjoy what you're doing.
It's
being
lots of
involved in
fun.
that. Yeah. Now that you're a past president now, is that-
Yes.
I assume that you can criticize other people that are, if you like.
I choose not to.
Oh, you choose not to. Okay.
I'd rather not.
All right, we've got
Slides?
slides coming up here,
Yeah.
and you guys can tell us
Talk
about
a little
this.
bit about them. Oh, this is that trail, the railroad underpass.
It's the railroad underpass at the Hawkins Cove area that that's part of one of the natural areas that's
So
associated.
trains still go through that?
Yes, trains do still go through that. It's a beautiful area, and it's a natural area preserving a particular wildflower on the Swanee side, if you will, between Swanee and Cowan. We will not be hiking in this area this year, so but it's nice to have this slide to bring up the importance of what the state park system does in preserving particular plants and animals.
These are children building fairy houses. One of the programs that will be parts of Trails and Trillium on Sunday afternoon, specifically geared for families, is how to build fairy houses that any gnome would be happy to live in. And it's the whole thing about getting kids outside, off the couch, away from their technology, and experiencing the out of doors and using their imaginations. One of the programs we're going to be presenting is on butterfly gardens, and this is all the rage right now in native planting, and we look forward to hearing more about how to create butterfly gardens at your own home. I'm going to talk about, this is Mary Priestley's book, The Fiery Gizzard, that she has written. One of the programs she'll be presenting is Tales from the Trail. Another aspect and a huge fundraising part of what Trails and Trilliums is about is Art for the Park. This art will be on sale all weekend. There's a big gala on Saturday night that is dinner and a chance to meet the artists and learn about their work. We have artists from all over the region with a primary focus on native-themed, natural-themed art, not solely, but just a lot of neat work, again, inspired by nature. This is the picture of the children's choir from last year, and over 120 kids will be in the choir. This is Friday night at 5:30, Friday, April the 15th, and there's a student art exhibition also. Again, at least 9 different elementary schools and St. Andrews Swanee participating in the concert and student art exhibition. Wings to Soar is a live Birds of Prey show that will be presented twice on Saturday that we think people will enjoy. Video, music, and these magnificent birds. And this is the children's choir invitation and poster, free to the public, and again, highlighting the musical and artistic talents of students from our 3 surrounding counties. This is Jessie McNeil. She is a ranger at the park. We have the park has built a new aviary, and there will be a dedication ceremony on Saturday afternoon for, I think his name is Bard the Bowman, is the owl that will be in the.
That's a live owl.
In the aviary, and again, we've just gotten him in the park, and we will be putting him in his new home for the first time on Saturday, April the 16th.
All right.
This is the work of Sue McGrew, one of our artists, a great example of the nature-themed work that our artists will be promoting. And this is a hike. This is a representative, that's Fusilla, I believe, that's blooming the purple flowers, and this is what it looks like when we're walking on our hikes looking at wildflowers. They're so prevalent this time of year on the plateau. So come, Trails and Trilliums, April 15th through 17th.
I do want to interject, and I know that we've got just a few minutes and we need to close things up, but we've restructured our hikes this year. We have more hikes. They're shorter. What we're trying to do is we've always wanted to try to introduce people to the area, and this year we've tried to do it so that you can get a sample of what's in the area, see the wildflowers, see the different areas in the South Cumberland State Park. So if you ever wanted to hike, we've got really easy hikes. We've got not as many hard hikes as we've had in the past because we want people to be able to go out, get in the woods, and come back to the celebration and be able to take in what we have here and all of Linda's great programs. I didn't realize how many great things you had going on this year.
The hikes for Friends of the South Cumberland all year this year are centered around Hike into History, which are different hikes talking about the whole history of the plateau. Fascinating in terms of moonshining, coal mining, timber, all the things that make the plateau and its history so unique. And you can learn them by walking in the woods.
Okay. Sounds like a fun weekend, folks. April 15th through 17th, 3 days.
Correct.
And so I guess if you just wanted to show up there, you don't have to call in.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Right.
And a lot to see up there.
Or you can register online at www.trailsandtrilliums.org.
Okay. All right, folks, April 15th, that's, of course, tax deadline for filing your taxes. This is a wonderful way to get away from work.
Well, there you go. There you go.
You know, and go up there on the mountain and enjoy some great scenery. Thank you so much for coming by today.
Having us.
Great event there, and I'm looking.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful for you guys. Do a great job. We'll be right back with more Living, folks, right after this.
The Kia Summers on Us sales event is going on right now at Russell Barnett Kia of Tullahoma. Let me tell you about this event. Purchase a new Kia Sedona, Kia Optima, Kia Forte, and receive 0% financing up to 66 months and your first 3 payments for free. For a limited time only, no strings attached. With America's best warranty, the 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, Kia is the power to surprise. The Kia Summers on Us sales event going on right now. Why buy anywhere else?
All I have to do to think about what I was physically before and what I am now, and I don't ever want to go back to that original situation.
The overall mission of the rehab team is always what is best for the patient and how we can facilitate maximum potential from every resident.
Well, the most important thing to me is that I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do, you know.
Everyday miracles at Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
You're gonna love this set. Don't go away. I am here with Will Prater to my left. God, I'm losing my mind. Christopher Sullivan, who I've known since he was a baby, and Leslie May. And they are involved with Harvey over at the MAC, correct?
That's right. It's a Millennium Repertory production, and it opens on the 15th and runs for 2 weeks. It's Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays for 2 weeks.
What time's the matinee? 2 o'clock?
We're running 2 o'clock matinees and 7:30 shows on Friday and Saturday.
And you can get tickets by going online.
Online, millenniumrep.org.
millenniumrep.org, and it's so easy to get tickets, and I don't even think you pay extra by getting it online.
Oh, no.
Somebody told me you paid less, but don't want to quote that. Leslie, you're a new face to me.
Yes.
Where are you from?
I am from the Shoals area, Florence, Alabama.
Great.
And I've been here about 2 years now, and this is my first time doing theater here in Tennessee.
Well, aren't they lucky to get you?
Well, thank you.
That beautiful red hair. I love it.
Thank you.
And what part are you playing?
I am playing Vita Louise Simmons, Elwood's older sister.
Older sister.
Yes, very protective, very concerned.
Because Elwood sort of appears to be a nutcase, doesn't he?
A little peculiar to most people, but he's still my brother.
I think it's typecasting.
And Will, who are you?
I'm actually directing the production.
Oh, okay. You're directing the production. I should listen a little more when I'm talking to you.
That's okay.
Has this been fun for you?
It's been an amazing experience. This has been one of the most incredible casts, and this is my 75th production, so I've worked with a lot of people, but this is one of the most...
You're getting the cream of the crop this time.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know, I actually co-directed this when Weldon Payne did the lead way back in the day when the theater here was out at Northern Field. And I loved the play then, and I'm going to love it now. And Elwood, how did you get to know Harvey?
Well, that's a very interesting coincidence. Well, one evening, I was walking along Fairfax Street. It's between 18th and 19th. Do you know that block?
I think so.
Oh, well, I was walking along when one evening I was helping Ed Hickey into a taxi cab because he had been mixing his rye with his gin again, and I felt that Ed needed some conveying. Well, I'd helped him in, and all of a sudden I hear a voice behind me go, "Good evening, Mr. Dowd." Well, I turned, and there's this great white rabbit leaning against a lamppost. I thought nothing of that, because when you've lived in a town for as long as I've lived in this one, you get used to the fact that everybody knows your name. Well, I was chatting with him, and he said to me, "You know, am I a bit mistaken, or is Ed Hickey a little spiffed this evening?" I think the world and all of Ed, but he was not mistaken. Ed was spiffed. Well, we were chatting, and then naturally, you know, I said to him, "You had the advantage on me because you know my name, and I don't know yours." And he said, "Well, what name do you like?" And I didn't have to think for a minute. Harvey's always been my favorite name, so I said, "Harvey." And he goes, "What a coincidence. My name happens to be Harvey."
Great, I love it. Good job.
Thank you.
I know they picked the right person.
I've got some big shoes to fill, not only Jimmy Stewart, but also locally Weldon Payne and Charlie Winton.
I know. That's amazing.
It's an honor to be sort of ranked in with that group of people.
Will Prater, did you just automatically pick him to do that, or did he come and audition? Did you see his face in town and say, "Hey, I think I have an idea"?
Actually, it was a funny story because typically the role of Elwood is played by an older male. It's generally somebody that's in their 40s or 50s. But Chris and I had been talking prior to casting, and he had showed me a clip of Jim Parsons doing it off Broadway, and it introduced this idea of doing a younger cast. And that's why we decided to go with that, because we wanted to pay homage to all of the productions that have gone before it, but we wanted to make sure that we had something that was new and fresh.
Sort of an original twist on it. I like the idea. I really do.
It's a fun twist. It's a really good show for me to make my comeback on. This is my first show since I've been back.
5 years.
Right. I spent 5 years with the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus on tour, touring coast to coast, and you know, it's always good to know that you can come home again.
Yes, you can come home again, and how fortunate and blessed we are that you're back. Yes. And actually, I've been your mother on stage.
You have. The last show I did with you, you were my mother, and later on for 12 Angry Men, you're going to have Terry, and he was my dad.
Terry, and he was your dad. So
it's like a family reunion.
Right. All right, let's talk for a second about how to get tickets, and we know that to go online at
millenniumrep.org. You can get your tickets online. You can just
can you still call?
You can still call. The number is right here on this.
On the poster. The number is 931-570-4489, or you can even go on the web and look for Manchester Arts Center, and I'm sure it'll all finally come out. And this is April 15 through 17 and 22 through 24. And honestly, if you do have something else to do, cut it. Come to the play. I mean, this is going to be hysterical, and plus it's going to be touching. And to me, the fact that Elwood was just a little off in the head shows us how much that kind of person can contribute to our lives.
Yes.
And how do you feel about your experience?
I have enjoyed it because I've learned a lot about the emotional side of it, being concerned and upset, and he and I have a natural banter anyway, like brother and sister.
That's great.
And so it just came very natural when they put us together. And I've enjoyed it.
Okay, y'all, we're about out of time. So there's the number to call, and there's the website to go on. And remember, it's Harvey, 15 through 17, 22 through 24. And what a wonderful crew. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Will. Thank you, Christopher. Thank you, Leslie. And we'll be back with Who Can Imagine What?
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family caring for your family since 1932.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen, we're back and we're getting ready to talk about something that you hear advertised on television. Most of the time you see policemen advertising it. And we all have communications with us 24/7 now, and a lot of us text and talk when we shouldn't be. We have a young man with us here today, Tyler Wright, and Tyler has a great story, an important story that he needs to talk to you about, and it's about an issue he had with texting and driving. And Tyler, thank you for coming and being with us today. And I know this is a tough subject. Mm-hmm. And would you like to share a little bit of your story with our audience?
Absolutely. And I'd like to start off by saying thank you for letting me come on today and actually talk about it. But yeah, my story starts when I was 17 in high school, and I was on my way to work one morning. I was running late, and at this point I actually don't remember much of it. Just the only thing I can remember is being on a back road in Winchester, because I was going to high school at Franklin County. So I remember being on the back road, and the last thing I can remember is going and stopping at a stop sign at the top of a hill. After that, everything's black. The next thing I remember is waking up in an ambulance, not knowing who I was, where I was, or what had even happened to me. And that went through that a couple of times in between, actually conscious and then blacking out again. Right. Until I was actually being prepped to be put onto a helicopter to go to Huntsville. And got in Huntsville, they ran me through some tests, CAT scans, the like. And after that, I was just sitting in a hospital bed in the ER with a concussion and a third-degree burn on my pinky. And that's when my mother and my brother walked in, and I was sort of, at this point, I just knew I had an accident. I didn't know any other sort of details about it. So one of the first things that I asked them was, what happened? And their initial response was, don't worry about it, which of course immediately made me worry about it. And after that, 2 police officers walked in, and that's where I learned the rest of the story.
And the rest of the story is?
Well, on the way down that hill, there was a pretty sharp curve in it. And instead of turning with that curve, I just kept going straight. I collided head-on with another vehicle, and upon impact, the man that I ended up hitting had his neck broken, and he actually died on scene. So,
and what were you doing to cause you not to make that turn?
Well, according to the police results, months down the road, I was actually texting and driving, and initially, when the police first asked me if I was using my phone, I said yes, because it had been part of my life, you know, up to that point, and driving for, you know, a whole year and a half on my own. I had basically used my phone a lot, you know, almost every time I'd been driving. So it was just a natural thing. But in my mind, I thought there's no way that could be the cause. I rationalized it by saying I'm safe when I text and drive. You know, I would never text and drive around that curve. And just sort of tried to deny anything and everything I could. So, and then a couple months later, just everything broke. All the denial, all the built up emotion and stuff like that just came pouring out of me, and reality set in. And after reality set in, depression set in. And then after that, it's been just a long battle with it, really, as far as coping and finding ways to actually get out of bed in the morning.
Now, have you been back to, you were going to school at that point? Or have you re-entered school?
Well, at that point I was in high school.
Right.
The judicial process didn't really take that long. It only took a couple months. And I was able to go to school during this as well. And the family was very forgiving for me. And I ended up actually only getting 3 years of probation with 100 hours of community service. My license restricted for 5 years, and my case expunged after everything is done. Okay. So, and that was part of a plea bargain. So in that way, I was very, very lucky. And so I ended up being able to finish high school. And I actually even started college. And I went for about a year and a half. And then I dropped out so I could focus more on this. And yeah, all the community service hours are public speaking hours, going out and talking about my accident. So.
Well, was that something that you were comfortable doing? I mean, have you, in your lifetime going around, I mean, have you been a out front vocal kind of guy, or have you been kind of a reserved kind of individual? How would you classify yourself?
Traditionally, I would classify myself as a socialite. Not really afraid to talk to anyone, you know, just very friendly. But as far as going up in front of people and delivering some sort of a formal speech in school, you know, like a book report or something like that, terrified me for some reason. And I guess, you know, first going out and talking, you know, about something that's so deep and so personal had a very similar effect on me. It was just terrifying. And I just tried to sort of distance myself from it as much as I could at first. And
well, you seem to be, how long ago has that been?
That was when I was 17, and that was about 3 years ago now.
3 years ago, okay. So what's your message? What's your message to all of these people out here that you can look through that camera right there and you can tell them, and not just young people, but adults as well.
Exactly.
We all are guilty. So you look right there and you tell them what they need to think about.
Well, I mean, one of the first things is that it's not really worth it. A life that you could lose from it is not worth it. The person that I ended up harming, I didn't even know, and I'm probably going to waste the rest of my life feeling guilty from it and losing sleep from it. I can't imagine if it had been a family member or someone close to me. You know, children, you know, anything like that. So just
don't text and drive.
Exactly. Just keep your family in mind, keep other people in mind.
I'm very proud of you and your courage.
Thank you.
I appreciate you coming here, and if you need to come here some more again, if it helps you to help others and let them see your face, you know that you're welcome here anytime you want to come here, okay?
All right, thank you
We will
so
help
much.
you get rid of those hours, okay?
All right, thank you so
much. And you're a strong young man. I'm proud of you. Keep that chin up, your shoulders back. It's a beautiful world, and you're part of it.
Thank you, sir.
Okay? We'll be right back after these messages.
It was...
Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the paint. Uh-oh. I just knocked a tree over. This the paint doctor. I got the color wheel. Now you know what a color wheel is? It is the wheel at the paint works where you pick all your colors to paint your room. It could be a multicolored beard. It could be a underarm fan. You never can tell. One thing we do know is that it's time to paint. You know, you can make your wife very happy if you go to your house and paint some rooms, or you paint the outside of the house, the inside of the house. It makes them feel very good because you work hard for them and they like that. All women like to see their man sweat. You know, they do. Honeydew is what they do. And you get to do it too. So you go to the paint works at 1960 North Washington Street and you see David Heikkinen over there, and he's the real paint doctor. He fix you up with color. It's so nice when the color is right. Go to Paintworks today. Martin Senior. See? Martin Senior. Right there. Martin Senior at the Paintworks. Bye, and we see you next time. I'm burning up.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're pleased to have joining us today some nice folks from Blood Assurance here in Tullahoma. To my left is Charlie Calera, and of course you might recognize our former mayor Steve Cope, and I forget the mascot's name over
Hero.
Hero.
Our
Okay.
bloodhound.
Okay. And, there we go. Yeah. And you guys are having. First of all, tell us a little bit about Blood Assurance. Just what they do.
Blood Assurance, non-profit blood collection agency. We serve 75 hospitals across five states, and including all the hospitals here in this area.
So the thing for you guys that are watching this in any of our 5 counties might remember, if you get blood at the hospital, chances are you guys provide it.
Blood, platelets, whatever kind of products. Yeah, they do come from us.
Okay. All right. And Steve, it was a little strange when you first came in with this group because I wasn't sure what your role was in this. But tell us what.
Well, I guess it was around 2004. We had a situation in the community where Bud Gardner and his wife were going through some difficulties with cancer, and Sue was having to have platelets, and they were having to get friends to go to Nashville and Murfreesboro to give those platelets because there was no draw center here. So State Representative Matheny got involved with us. I was mayor at the time, and we asked Red Cross and Blood Assurance to come in and give a presentation on what they could do to help us. And of course, Red Cross is a national organization, and they don't put the draw centers locally like Tullahoma. So Blood Assurance said, we'll make the investment, we'll come to Tullahoma, we'll put the draw center in, and they did. And it's made a tremendous difference because the first thing, it's the blood from Blood Assurance is cheaper than Red Cross, so it saves our local hospital a lot of money, which saves patients a lot of money. And you know, it's when you give blood to Blood Assurance in Tullahoma, that blood stays local.
Right.
If you give to Red Cross is a great organization. Nothing bad to say about Red Cross, but disaster relief is where I think they're best suited. But local communities, we take care of our own, and we give blood locally. The blood benefits our local hospital and our local patients.
And you guys make it so easy for that to happen.
We do, and we have a brand new donor center right there on North Jackson,
Which,
right
by
next
the way,
to Walgreens.
you named a room in that for the family you just mentioned.
The Guy and Sue Gardner community room. Yes. So yeah, we bigger and better than ever. Convenient hours. So yeah, we're very happy with that.
You asked about my role after Blood Assurance put the center here for the Draw Center. They asked us to put together an advisory board, and that advisory board is made up of about 15 people locally from surrounding counties, and our role is to help promote Blood Assurance and help, if they need help signing up blood drives and that kind of thing. And I was the first chairman of the advisory board, and I'm also on the board of directors in Chattanooga. But I have been a part of the Blood Assurance since it opened.
I see. Okay. All right. I know you've got an event coming up. I think.
We do. We have our second annual Heroes Golf Tournament coming up at Lakewood Golf and Country Club.
And this is Hero.
And this is Hero, so it's Heroes Golf Tournament.
Right, okay.
So it's our second annual Hero, and this benefits high school scholarships that we give out. We give out 12 scholarships to high school seniors, $1,500 each, and so having these tournaments helps us get the funds to do that. So we are looking for teams and sponsors to sign up for that. Steve is our chairman.
He's almost a professional. You realize that, right?
Yeah, I'm not going to play him, but he is our tournament chairman for the golf tournament. So we're looking for presenting sponsors, we're looking for dinner sponsor and a cart sponsor and a few other sponsors, including some teams.
And what does it cost to be a sponsor in those various ways?
Well, presenting sponsor would be $5,000, dinner sponsor is $2,500, and cart sponsor is $1,500.
Okay.
And then we have some other sponsorships that are a little bit less than that. And then for a team of 4, that's only $500 for a team of 4, and you get $100 credit towards the pro shop.
Okay.
But you also get lunch, you get the round of golf, you get the cart, you get mulligans, you get dinner, and you get a tea prize, as Charlie said, of $100 credit in the golf shop.
And if you're in the tournament, which I'm sure you probably will be, you won't be allowed to have mulligans, right?
Yes.
Okay. I just thought we might handicap that just a little bit.
No, can't do it.
Tell us, when is the tournament coming up?
The tournament is coming up on May the 12th, so it is coming up in a little over a month. And you can call, can I give your number?
Sure.
Steve's number is 931-212-4093. Or you can email Steve at steve.cope@avioninc.com.
Okay, believe it or not, Steve actually has a real job. I mean, he's always had this addiction where he gets involved in a lot of projects outside of work, but he actually has a real job. So
you can also get a flyer at the Lakewood Golf Shop.
Okay.
They have the flyers there where you can sign up.
That's right. Or our blood center itself. So
okay. And while you're there, stop by and give some blood. While
absolutely.
You're there, do I recall that coming up sometimes in the summer months you guys have difficulty keeping
summer months are difficult, and we're coming up on that when schools are out, because schools provide almost 20% of our blood. So when we don't have the schools in session, so yeah, coming up, we do have that. That's why we try to get a little bit more creative with church blood drives, organization blood drives. So.
And this whole process is so easy and so quick. It takes what, 15 minutes maybe?
The actual in the chair is only like 10 to 15 minutes.
Right.
You've got that pre time where you have to get tested, not tested, but you answer some questions and a little mini physical.
Right.
And then after you donate, we like you to have a snack. So the whole thing would be 35, 40 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. So it's it doesn't hurt.
Under an hour.
Yeah. Right. Okay. All right. Wish we had more time there to tell me I got to get out of here. So, yeah. All right. Again, that's Steve Cope's phone number right there on the phone, on the screen. If you want to be a part of this tournament, please give Steve a call. Or if you want to gripe at something he did when he was mayor, call him there. This is your chance here. Preferably,
Thanks,
you'll call about the Blood Assurance golf tournament. Guys, thank you so much
Thanks
for coming by.
Thanks very much for having us.
Appreciate it very much. Hero, so nice to see you. Best looking person on the stage here. I can tell you. We'll be right back with more Living right after this.
The Animal Shelter has served Tullahoma dogs for nearly 30 years. Now, you can help us build a bigger and better no-kill shelter. Your tax-deductible gift is matched dollar for dollar, so come on, bark it forward and donate now to have your tax-deductible gift matched. Make your check payable to the COT Shelter Building Fund and go to tullahomatn.gov to see all the unique gifts available for your generosity. For more details, you can call City Hall at 455-2648.
Did you take your medicine?
Oh gosh, I forgot it.
Her nurse.
You need a claim number?
Her personal assistant.
Let me just grab a...
Her housekeeper. Her cook. Her accountant. When I started taking care of Mom, I didn't realize the challenge of playing so many roles. But above all, I'm still her daughter.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving to connect with experts and other caregivers. Together we can better care for ourselves and the ones we love.
Welcome back. I'm on the set today with one of my most favorite people in all this world, Terry Bradford. Terry, thanks for coming. He is one of 12 angry men. The rest of them were so angry they couldn't come. But anyway, they're going to show up at South Jackson Civic Center on the 22nd of April.
That's correct.
12 angry men, by the way. And you are one of the 12, obviously.
Yes.
And I've read who the cast is. Do you want to tell me a little bit about the cast or some of the people you're working with?
Well, it's a tremendous mixture of men from the community that have been banded together to do this play, and a lot of variety in the characters, and a lot of variety in the people who are playing the parts, and come from many different walks of life. You know, we've got preachers, we've got youth ministers, we've got school teachers, we've got
you've got Dan Lawson.
Dan Lawson, the
superintendent
so glad
to see him coming on stage.
He's fantastic. I had more fun watching him learn about.
I've been dying to have him come and be in a play, and I'm glad he took that job on. And also, John Wright is coming over from Manchester, and we haven't had him up there for a while.
He's an amazing actor.
Yes,
he really is, and he's got a very difficult part in this play. Yeah, and very does an extremely good job working at it.
Well, Janet Patterson and Rosie Graham, who are directing this play, are phenomenal at finding the best people in the world to do a play. So I know it's going to be great. Let's tell them real quick about how to get a ticket.
455-0620. Just give us a call, or you can do it online at communityplayhouse.org.
Communityplayhouse.org. You can't miss that. It's easy, and you can get all the information you want. You can get your tickets printed out already, and you don't have to wait in line.
Or if you call 455-0620 and leave a message, I'll call you back and we can talk personally about it. So I enjoy doing that.
That's great. So you're taking those calls?
I'm taking the calls, yeah.
What is your position on the Community Playhouse?
I'm the Vice President.
Vice President of the Community Playhouse. And we love the Community Playhouse. They put on wonderful plays. What is the price for the tickets?
The tickets are $15 for an adult, $2 off, $2 discount for seniors and for students.
Wow.
So you can do it for $13. It's a bargain.
It is a big bargain. How long have y'all been working on the play?
Probably 3 or 4 weeks, I guess. I mean, a lot of planning went on prior to that, but the actual trying to put it together has been the last 3 or 4 weeks.
I love the pictures on Facebook. Of all these 12 men, gathered around the table. In a way, it reminded me the first time I saw it of The Last Supper. But anyway, you know, there was 12 men. Anyway, 12 Angry Men it's going to be the best play. It's all takes place. Where all does it take place? In that room where you all meet?
Yeah, there's just one room, and there's a table with 12 people around it, and they've been sequestered for a murder trial. And,
okay.
And they're having to decide the fate of a young man who's 19 years old, who's accused of murdering his father.
Wow.
And so it begins with the play. They take a straw vote at the beginning. And it's 11-1, and of course there's one holdout that says he's not guilty.
Okay,
and
so 11 thinks he's guilty and one thinks he isn't.
He's not. Yeah, and then as the play progresses along, they start reviewing the evidence and talking about what had happened in the events, and some reasonable doubt begins to occur in some of the jurors.
And
so over a period of time, it ends up with finally there's just one holdout. And,
okay. So we don't want to tell the ending.
Don't want to tell them the whole story yet.
Is there any other scene other than just the 12 Angry Men?
It's a single scene play.
Okay.
And one, you know, when I learned when I started being in plays that you never turn your back on the audience.
Yeah.
But in this one, the guys are sitting around a table, and you have to have some of them with their back to the audience.
Somebody has to turn their back to the audience.
So we've had to kind of creatively play with that to try to make it such that
if you had 12 in the back, it's going to go all the way to the end of the stage.
Yeah.
But that's a wonderful idea. Who wrote this play? I can't remember.
Oh, my, you shouldn't have asked me.
Oh, well, that's all right. Doesn't matter. We just know that it's a good play.
It goes back to about 1956, and it's actually had a movie made of it, and lots of playhouses and theaters have done it. It's a very popular play.
Can you tell me why that the men are angry?
Well, it starts out. There's a whole variety of reasons. We've got one guy that wants to get to a baseball game. He
just wants to be done with it.
He's got tickets for the basketball game. Yeah. He wants it over with.
He wants it over with.
He's convinced the boy's guilty, and that's the end of it, you know. And then there are those who identify life events that are similar to what's happening to the boy, and that's kind of interesting as the characters are developed to provide insight into the inner thinking of that person, and why he would choose to vote like he would in such an important event. Yeah.
I think it'd be nice if we could get the website on the screen. Give me that again. It's
www.communityplayhouse.org.
I hope you all heard me. There we go. Well, wait. It's not at Tullahoma High School. Sorry.
No, it's not.
It's at South Jackson.
It's the South Jackson Civic Center.
You guys are asleep at the wheel back there. What enticed you to audition for the play?
Well, there was an old man in it. And I don't get to find many plays that have an old man, and so I was very tickled about the fact that
there was a part for you.
There was a part for me, so I went and auditioned for it and got that part.
Well, you got the part because you're a very good actor, and I think what fun it would be to have 11 more pretty much equally talented people around you to work with. And we're short on time, so please don't forget, it opens the 22nd of April, goes through 2 weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday matinee, with the wonderful Terry Bradford and 11 other angry men. Don't miss it.
Come see it.
We'll be back.
We get closer to a world with more birthdays when we take cancer patients by the hand. We help them find answers and guidance and hope, and give them more candles to light. We're the American Cancer Society. Help create a world with more birthdays at morebirthdays.com.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec. When
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Well, we've had a lot of stops and starts, but I've learned the hard way that this world ain't gonna cater to what Shane wants. You got to fight for what you want, and you've got to have the mentality not to give up. And that's the only reason I'm sitting here today is because I didn't want to throw in the towel and just give up and run home and say, I can't do this.
Well, Shane's got that country boy, you can knock me down, but you better have a big old rock to keep me there. He has been kicked in the teeth by this business over and over and again, and he gets up smiling every time.
In reality, you just got to keep fighting for what you want to do. And I've been able to do that. I grew up listening to Vern Gosdin, Keith Whitley, George Jones.
The fun part about working with Shane, the music that he embraces and does is traditional country music, and it's really an art form. All the players light up when they show up to do this kind of thing. They remember that legendary sound where the song, the vocal, the lyric is paramount in the development of the song, and that's what you get with Shane.
My grandmother played the piano in church, and she was, a great influence for me, and I just got into wanting to sing and learn about music, and God gave me awesome talent, so here we are. We are taught to be well-mannered and respect other people, so I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm glad I grew up in the South.
I like to think that there are cycles in this music. Usually what happens is the pendulum swings out and the pop country people bring in a whole lot of new listeners. And then the new listeners discover real country music, and there's nobody more zealous than a recent convert. And what usually happens is that there's a swing back to more traditional stylists. I hope we're on the cusp of that right now, and if we are, Shane is perfectly positioned.
I've had the opportunity to write with some of the biggest writers in Nashville. Philip Douglas, Dan Murph, Bill Shore, Galen Griffin, a lot of writers, so I feel very blessed. A lot of artists, they come up here and they never get to sit down and write with those big name writers, and I've been able to do that, so I feel very blessed. But this is probably no doubt some of the best material we've ever cut. Like I say, we had some of the best songwriters that had pitched stuff to me, and then I had the opportunity to sit down and write with some of the best songwriters, so it made all the difference in the world. There's no doubt the best material we've ever cut, and I'm excited. I always thought Randy Travis was one of the best country singers, and still is one of the best country singers of our time. For him to believe in the project and to want to be a part of the project, it's just unreal. I'm ecstatic.
All right, folks, that was the EPK of Shane Owens, and guess who I have sitting right next to me today? I am tickled to death to introduce to you Mr. Shane Owens.
Good morning.
How you doing, fella?
Great. I'm doing great.
Good to see you.
Doing great.
Up here where do you live in Alabama?
We live in Lower Alabama. I live in a little town called Sampson. It's right there in Alabama before the end of the earth drops off.
Well, I'm so excited to have you here, and things, we'll talk a little bit about you in the music business. If people listen to that EPK and talk and listen to what Orman said and some of these guys said, you've been fighting this battle in the music business for quite some time, haven't you?
Yes, sir. We've been fighting it for about 16 years. When it's, like I tell all these new artists and these kids that mentor me, I take up time with it. It ain't gonna happen overnight, and I'd rather it take longer to do it than get on one of the reality shows and it happen and then go away a week later.
Right. It's sort of like the lottery. That kind of thing's like winning the lottery. Most of the people who win the lottery end up bankrupt, and most of those people who win one of those shows end up bankrupt.
That's right.
Bankrupt too. But you fought your way through this whole thing. And I saw some of your earlier videos and some of your earlier pictures, and you sort of had a little bit of that Frankie Avalon look there a little bit early on, didn't you?
I guess so.
Had a little
man.
bit of double knit on and some of that stuff. Yeah, you was looking good.
That was a few years ago.
That was a few years back, you know, and I'm proud of you for sticking with it. Proud of your family. I saw another video recently of your dad and your wife and discussing how proud they were of you and how you hung in there. And after being smacked around, the music industry tough. Isn't it?
It's tough, you know, and you know, I got so much to be thankful for, and we've been so blessed to still be here. And you know, I tell everybody, music's a disease. You know, I don't drink, I don't do anything I ain't supposed to do. I got the worst disease in the world. I love music. You know what I'm saying?
The music industry.
That's right.
Yeah, it takes an IV every day, doesn't it?
That's right.
Well, how are things coming now? I know that since you've gotten involved with the Miramonte Records and Steve, and things are moving along pretty good. You have a new single out. I'm hearing it on the radio. Thank you, WSM Radio. I mean, I love those guys, Bill Cody in the morning, and they play real country music there.
Well, you know, we've been blessed to have a new single out, and you know, Randy Travis was executive producer on the record, and you know, we just a great team of Miramonte Records, Steve, Daniel, Dana Bloom, been so good to me, and we're just so blessed to be here today doing this.
Well, do you have a specific? I know you're working on a project now. Is a new album ready to come out? Is it ready to come out or close to being ready?
Close to being ready. We'll have it out this summer sometime.
Well, that's great. That's great. So you're doing shows? Are you traveling? Are you doing any road work?
We're doing quite a bit of road work. We've got quite a few shows booked, and then we've got a showcase this Thursday night for some booking agents and different things. So
up in Nashville.
Yes, sir.
All right. Who's this fine-looking fella you brought?
This guy right here is an old Alabama boy too. He's his name's David Rogers. He does a lot of the acoustic stuff for me. You know, he's a better picker than I am, so I let him play a little bit.
You know, you're lucky to have somebody like that come along with you. I usually, when I do it, I have to do the same thing because I can't play and look at the same time. Let's do us one right here.
Okay, we'll do you a little song off the record called "God and the Ground She Walks On."
God?
I think you'll like this one.
All
maybe.
right, let's hear it.
If you don't, we'll do something else.
Okay.
He wears the same suit every Sunday. She's not there to straighten his tie. He'll be back in the fields come Monday, where he spent most of his life. We thought he came 'cause she made him. At least that's what we used to say. But now he's there every time the door's open, so he could see her again someday. He stands up and he sings Rock of Ages. He fumbles to find her song, and he feels her turning the pages like she was right there reading along. And he puts his tithes in the offering. Somewhere in his heart she's not gone, 'cause that old man still worships God and the ground she walked on. The son wants to move him to Phoenix, and the bank says they'll buy back the home. And he says he doesn't need it, 'cause he'd never leave her alone. He stands up and he sings Rock of Ages. He fumbles to find her song, he feels her turning the pages like she was right there reading along. And he puts his tithes in the offering. Somewhere in his heart she's not gone. 'Cause that old man still worships God and the ground she walked on. Yeah, that old man still worships God and the ground she walked on.
Lord, speaking of God, Lord of mercy, man.
Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, thank you, Jesus is right. My goodness gracious. Now, was that something that you had a hand in writing?
No, sir, I did not actually. But you know, it was like we were talking a while ago. Somebody else out there's always got a better song than you got, so it don't hurt to cut there sometimes. You know what I mean?
There you go. Well, you know, I don't think George Strait, did he ever write one at all?
I think he wrote one or two, didn't he,
Yeah,
Dave?
he did.
And that was he didn't have to. I don't
He
think.
stuck to doing what he did best. You know,
Singing.
I've always told some of these young people that stand up there and they try to wiggle and try to have a guitar with them. I said, watch George Strait. His voice is his persona and his voice is entertainment enough.
That's
He
right.
doesn't need to do anything
There'll
else.
never- there'll never be another George.
Yeah, well, maybe there is.
Well, maybe there is, huh?
Maybe sitting right next to me.
That'd be good. I'd settle for that.
How impressive.
I appreciate
How
it.
impressive. I noticed that in your interview on the EPK, you were talking about how much fun it's been to write with some of the guys. Have you always written or tried to write? Is that something you've done?
I've always tried to write, but like anybody else that comes up to Nashville chasing this dream, you know, we've Steve has got a lot of buddies that write, and we've been able to hook up with some of them. And then I've got friends I've known through the years, and people like Philip Douglas and Dan Murph and Galen Griffin and different folks, you know, that's been up here, and that's all they do for a
Right.
living. And there's a reason that they're
There's
up
a
in
reason they
Nashville
do
because they
that.
write so many hits, and we've been blessed to
Right,
be able to
right.
get with some of those and actually cut their songs and co-write songs with them as well.
Well, what I find interesting, and being a writer, and I'm a writer, and I'm not saying a writer's a writer. You write them all. Some of them are good, some of them are great, some of them are not good, but they all need to be written.
Absolutely.
It's finding that song that touches the person that's singing it at the time they hear it. It might be the difference in 1 week to the next, whether you might be in a mood when you hear that song that you fall in love with. Next week you might be in a different situation and it not interest you at all.
Right.
You know, but the great ones are great and they need to be sung. And somebody like you, how great would it be to have someone with your talent and your voice sing one of their songs? And I think it's just phenomenal you're doing what you're doing. And I'm proud of you, man. I like looking in your eyes, and I like the things you feel. I like what you say in your songs. I'm so tired of not being able to understand the words of a song, and to have someone feel with spirit and their heart and do what you're doing out there. There's a whole, I don't care whether the radio is behind it or the record companies are behind it. There's millions of fans who are waiting on Shane Owens.
You know, I believe on the radio tour.
Millions and millions of fans.
Absolutely. We're seeing it on radio tours and stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm just proud of you. I can't stand it.
Well, I
man.
appreciate it, man.
I can't stand it. Brought up on a farm.
Oh yeah, down in Alabama.
Like that
that's all we
cooking. I
do.
love that one line, and we'll do the video. We're going to see if we can get another song in right now. But we'll do the video when we end. But I like the song, "If Mama cooked it, you ate your son."
That's right.
Maybe that's what it was.
Or you went to bed hungry.
Yeah, I remember one time my mama had made some kind of Chinese stuff and put it on the table, and worms and snails and stuff. And Daddy said, "You gonna eat that?" And I said, I ain't eating that. He went to bed, went to sleep about 11 o'clock. I was still sitting at the table. Mama came in there with a ham sandwich and says, "Eat this and go to bed."
She's not going in on you.
She stuck a ham sandwich in there.
Mama will take care of you when nobody else
every
will.
time. Mama will take care. Let's do one more here.
Okay, we'll do you a little song called "Old Country." I actually wrote this one with Philip Douglas and Dan Murph.
Ooh,
I think you'll like it too.
DJ in Atlanta, going by his playlist, spinning Brad Paisley and Taylor Swift. When he got a wild hair, I guess he just didn't care. He probably even put his job at risk. I can't believe what I heard, a man that took some nerve. I bet it sure lit up the phones on the rush hour drive in the middle of prime time. I got to hear George Jones. Old country never gets old. It's like an old pair of broken boots and grandma's homemade rolls. Drinking cooks and dropping hooks in a backwoods catfish hole. Old country never gets old. My granddad bought a Ford back in 1953. It had a wooden bed and red leather seats. And I used to pray that when he passed away, he'd pass that F-100 on to me. Well, I sure felt cool when I drove it to school. I pulled in between a Beamer and a Jag. And that homecoming queen loved my vintage machine. She said it was the best ride she ever had. Old country never gets old. It's like cornbread and chili cooked on a cast iron stove. Rocking on the front porch, dropping peanuts in my Coke. Old country never gets old. Old country never gets old. It's like hardwood pews and honky-tonks and the Andy Griffith Show. Saginaw, Michigan is playing in my soul. Old country never gets old. Old country never gets old.
Hallelujah, brother. Preaching to the choir, man.
That's country music, ain't it?
It's country music that the whole wide world, there's millions and millions of us been waiting to hear that for about the last 12 years. Since all this other honky-tonk, not honky-tonk, but rapping and blogging and whatever kind of stuff, whatever kind of stuff they had going on, bro, country. Well, bro, let me tell you what, you out the door, bro, because you can't play a dobro. That's your problem. You out the door, bro, because you can't play one. Because we got guys here that are coming into country music right now, from Chris Stapleton to Sergil Simpson to Shane Owens. You know, it's happening, folks. This guy's on the radio. You call your radio station. You let them know that you want to listen to Shane Owens. You call all of them, all your country stations. Tell them you want to listen to him. Find him. Go to a show if he's doing a show. Watch us. Email me. Tell me you want to find out what's going on with him. What's the website? How can they find you?
You can go to ShaneOwensCountry.com, and then you can all the social media outlets like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and just go to ShaneOwensCountry.com and
it's all right there.
It's all right there.
It's all right there.
Everything
You'll let
you
them
need to
know, and I bet you will even personally get back in touch with somebody from time to time.
Absolutely.
You don't have a machine doing it for you.
No,
It's
sir.
Shane Owens right here.
Straight
real
old
people.
country.
Real people. Real people, real folks. I tell you what, we're mighty glad to have you on the show with us today.
Thank
Appreciate
you so much.
buddy. It's a pleasure. I feel like I know
Thank
you
you.
because I've been promoting you and trying to get people to listen for a while. But it's so great to have Shane here. This fine strumming, picking man. Does a little harmony work over there, too. Proud of him. What's that name again?
David Rogers.
David Rogers from L.A. And Steve Popovich with the Miramani Records back there. We can never say enough to him, for him, and about him. A great young man pushing the line forward. We're raising the bar here.
Raising the bar.
Raising the bar. What we're going to do right now is we're going to close the show with the video of Shane doing Where I'm Coming From.
That's right.
That's right. Thanks,
right.
buddy.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
And your milk drove from the truck. Love left to me, and every bad